Imagine this. A presidential car, black, polished, gleaming under the sun as it slides through the streets with the silent elegance of a living creature. A 1961 Lincoln Continental. And inside it, just 24 hours before Dallas, sits John Fitzgerald Kennedy, smiling, waving, alive. But there's something you don't know about this car. A detail the Secret Service chose not to highlight for decades. And today, we're revealing it. Dramatic fade in, car rotates into view, music hit. This is the Lincoln time forgot. Most people know the iconic story. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas on November 22, 1963, while riding in the dark blue Lincoln Continental known as SS-679-X. That part of history is well documented. But what almost no one remembers is that the day before, on November 21st, Kennedy attended a series of small routine events, a luncheon, brief meetings, a short public appearance. Nothing major. And for these low-risk movements, a different Lincoln was used. A car nearly identical, but with crucial differences. A car rarely mentioned in documentaries. A car that isn't preserved in museums. A car the Secret Service, later on, practically erased from the narrative. The question is, why? While digging through National Archives documents, something starts to stand out. There were actually two 1961 Lincoln Continentals assigned to the White House fleet in late 1963. The SS-100X, the famous Dallas car, and the SS-679-X, the backup. This second car is today's protagonist. The 679X had a strange history. It was used for testing, quick transportation, secondary appearances, and mainly for low-risk routines. Oddly enough, in Secret Service Fleet Division logs, it appears repeatedly as backup operational. Yet after November 1963, the record abruptly stops. Blank pages. Missing dates. Silence. A vehicle erased from history. Why? On November 21st, Kennedy traveled to Houston and San Antonio before flying into Texas for the main trip. But earlier that day, before the official flight, for short movements between the hotel, the airbase, and private meetings, the 679X was used. Newspaper mentions describe a black Lincoln from the presidential fleet. Dallas police logs reference secondary vehicle used for transfer A5. Blurry photos show a Lincoln without the upper chrome rail that the 100X had. And here comes the first strange detail. The 100X, the one in Dallas, had been modified for open-top motorcades, making it incredibly vulnerable. The 679X, however, had a removable roof system with structural reinforcement, meaning that Kennedy could have used a more protected vehicle. But the next day, he didn't. Coincidence? Routine protocol? Or deliberate choice? Internal memos show that the Secret Service repeatedly urged Kennedy to use more secure vehicles. But JFK had one philosophy. A president should not hide behind glass. Public image outweighed security. That's why the 100X, open, elegant, exposed, became the standard for motorcades. But here's the strange part. On November 21st, the day before Dallas, Kennedy used the 679X, which had optional protection. On November 22nd, the day of Dallas, he was put back into the vulnerable car. Why switch? The Lincoln Continental, used one day before the tragedy, isn't just another presidential car. It is a symbol of something history often hides. Small failures can redirect the fate of nations. The line between safety and danger is razor thin, and sometimes the future depends on a part that failed at the worst possible moment. Kennedy entered the wrong car on the wrong day, and the 679X, forgotten, broken, erased, became the last silent warning that something monumental was about to happen. In the end, this car didn't kill anyone, but its absence changed history. Because sometimes the most important event isn't what happens on the day of a tragedy, but what happened one day before.